Hello everybody and welcome back to another review for Hyperspace Dogfights, and this one is a big one as the game is finally available on Steam. Yep, we're on version 0.1 and the game is live. Last update I did on this was the Radio Wave update, which was version 0.85, and that was about 4 months ago, I believe. Between here and now, not all too much has changed gameplay wise. It's still a tough as nails arcade style shoot 'em up, but there are a few changes that have been made that are worth mentioning. For those that haven't been following this game, Hyperspace Dogfights is a game developed by Sleeper Games that puts you in the pilot seat of one of 10 unique fighters and sends you out guns blazing to save the planet with a variety of objectives whilst engaging the local militia who's trying to do everything in their power to stop you. Now you only get one of these at the start, and 4 more can be unlocked through regular play. I believe it's beating every single boss in every wave, which will get you a new craft. The other 5 are quote-unquote upgraded versions of the 5 starter craft, and you can unlock those by beating the final boss with said craft. You'll be firing a variety of weapons at your enemy whilst dodging their shots with your jump fire, which is basically a dodge roll for those more familiar with that, and proper use of gravity and your own engines. In between waves, you'll be able to upgrade your fighter by prying open loot boxes, by lack of a better word, through the use of SRM, which is this game's currency, which you gain by destroying your enemies. These loot boxes will either grant you one of currently over 150 items or something from one of 3 categories. You have your passive items ranging from shield or damage upgrades to special effects on your shots, or new mechanics like artillery support or aim shots, or homing shots, piercing, bouncing shots. It's a lot. And you have your active items, of which you can only have one at a time, need to recharge them between uses, but can generally get you out of a pinch or cause some proper chaos. You have like temporary invulnerability, or just like laser beams raining down from the skies, destroying a lot of things. Finally, you have your weapons. No real explanation needed for these, but yeah. More weapons to make you more versatile against different kind of enemies, and there's a ton of them to grab. From Gatling guns to death lasers, and from flamethrowers to halberds. Yep, there's melee weaponry. Some of these will be locked away for you. You can unlock those through normal gameplay. Loot boxes as well as spare health will follow you through waves until you have to do a long jump, meaning between bosses actually. So your last chance to open those will be during the intermission after a boss fight. I've talked about the new missions that were introduced with the Radio Waves updates, but again, we may as well line them up once more for those who haven't been following. First of all, you have your survival, pretty straightforward. Try not to die for a given period of time. How you spend that time is up to you. You can destroy enemies, you can run away, a little bit of both. Completely up to you. Then you have Destroy, which is also pretty straightforward. Just destroy enemies up to target score. Different enemies are worth a different amount of points. The bigger they are, usually the more points they'll get you. Then you have Seek and Destroy, which is similar to regular Destroy, though this time you're hunting a specific amount of a specific enemy. That could vary from elite enemies to, well, elite fighters. There's a difference, trust me on that. But no need to worry, the game will point out your targets. So you don't have left to look to where do I need to go. There will be a clear indicator. There's one, and if he's on screen, there'll be a nice little crosshair on it. Then you have raids, which again similar to Seek and Destroy, but you're hunting stuff that won't fight back. That could be ground convoys, dark matter storages, stuff like that. So yeah, your targets won't fight back, the other guys will though, so you know. And then there's Recon, which basically has you stick around a particular area and make some pictures. The opposition doesn't like it though. It's hard dodging bullets when you're hanging still in a small area. Then you have Hack, which is similar to Recon, but generally you get a little bit more room to maneuver in. Then there's the bosses, of course. One big baddie with a lot of guns and a lot of health. What are you waiting for? Go get it. And finally, the new kid on the block, which is the store rescue. This one is pretty similar to hacking, though this time you also get to defend the thing you're hacking, namely that store. A store vessel will be in your target area, and it's your job to hack it, again by staying in a particular area, before it blows to bits. Now, whilst the enemy generally won't target the store itself, their stray bullets can hit it, and so can yours. Also, the enemy will try to shoot you even if the store is between you and him, so, you know. Better not battle for too long, because a successful hack will grant you the store ship, offering you some items during intermission, and will tag along until you beat a boss, similar to your regular loot boxes. The items in that store will be pricier than usual, but they do show you what you're getting. And there will always be at least 1 health point for sale as well, and health is a really scarce commodity in this game. So, you know, try to save the store if you can. Furthermore, we have some new biomes for us to fly around in as well, or maybe they already exist and I never knew, since I've only recently been able to beat this game a few times. Remember that thing about tough as nails I mentioned at the start? Yeah, I wasn't kidding on that. Now, before you write the things off as, it's probably too difficult, it's one of those easy to learn, hard to master type things, and with minor practice you'll quickly be able to reliably beat the first, maybe even second boss. Things can get rather crazy after that. Either way, yes, new zones bringing new threats from your basic desert to an radiant and destroyed city, with new bosses from small to medium to pretty darn big. All equally dangerous, of course, with different weapon types working better than others against them. Furthermore, the game now has a final boss, which I've mentioned once before, and therefore a proper ending to your run, but not to worry, there is still the opportunity to keep pushing forwards, and of course, we still have a big swath of options available to fine-tune your game, just to like get rid of, choose your amount of screen shake, and how much certain stuff affects you, like screen glitch on getting hacked. I think you can also still turn off incoming shot indicators. Just don't do that. But also like HUD opacity, stuff like that. Anyway, finally, Hyperspace Dogfights is now available for Windows and Linux on Steam. Still also on itch.io for the price of $10. Links to both will be available in the video description. So that pretty much concludes the review, where I just list stuff about the game. I suppose I should talk a bit about how I see the game personally. Now, it's safe to say that I've been enjoying myself in Hyperspace Dogfights, and I will let you know that I might be a bit biased, since I've been one of the playtesters for this game since version 0.6 or something. And I have seen the game improve more and more as updates roll by, so, you know. At the bottom line, though, I can still say that I do recommend this game for those who don't have a lot of time. I mean, completed runs for, like, wins take about an hour for me, roughly, and I know that I'm not the fastest player. I tend to hang around a lot, getting a little bit of extra cash in. But yeah, great for you to have a lot of time and just want to watch the world burn, see your enemies blow up all around you, because this game can make you feel powerful, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I mentioned this before, that the game is easy to learn yet hard to master, and that definitely holds true. The game goes easy on you for Zone 1, but it's quick to crank up the difficulty. So while most of your runs will likely end up with you crashing and burning, each of them will still be unique due to all the randomized loot items. Some runs will have you swatting enemies away with a halberd beam whilst you're dropping bombs and calling in artillery strikes, while the next one will have you sniping crafts with a giant laser beam of death, having a drone army pick off the riffraff, and having the ability to go invulnerable for yourself in case things do end up going south. So I know there's tons of replayability, and of course that's endless mode should you think yourself invincible. Now believe me, you're not. Right? Anyway, the game might now have its full release, but I do know that we can still expect bug fixes and more, presumably more content in future updates. Developer involved in its player base is worth a lot, and that's pretty clear from the Hyperspace Dogfight Discord group I'm part of, where you still get to chat to the man, the dev himself. So anyway, game has some pretty cool music too. Whilst it may not be a great selling point, it's something that I do enjoy. Right? great music can really make your game more fun, I guess. As far as negatives go, the only thing I could really say is that I've never felt truly overpowered in this game. Powerful, yeah, but not like I can take on the world with this. And whilst I've never felt overpowered, it can be really easy to feel underpowered. Seeing how loot is randomized, you can run into a bad streak where all your unboxes are active items, of which you can only carry one anyway, or like mediocre weaponry, and you know, of which you can also only use one. Okay, you can have a whole swath of weapons ready to switch between, but you can still only fire one gun. Admittedly though, this has been less of a problem with the addition of stores where you can see what you're getting, so you can specifically go for that passive or something. Granted, the store can offer nothing but rubbish for you as well, but you know, that's RNG for you, isn't it? It's also worth mentioning that loot has been divided into tiers now, so the higher the tier, the better your item, and you can tell what tier your item is going to be based on the color of that chest. I think there's like white, no, like gray, white, blue, red. Of course, the higher the tier, the better your item, and the more costly it's going to be to unlock. But your item will be better than the cheap stuff, you know. And of course, there are always the Mark II crafts that can send you off with a slightly better equipped starter craft. You do need to unlock them first, and that's no easy feat either. In any case, to wrap this game up in one good, pretty lengthy sentence, I guess. Hyperspace Dogfights is a tough-as-nails shoot 'em up, which is easy to learn, but with a long, winding path to mastery that is littered with fun, lots of randomized loot and replayability, and of course, a lot of explosions. Yes, I had to write that one down. Anyway, I hope I made it clear what this game is about and what my stance on it is. I'll probably be starting another Let's Play on this game soon-ish if you want to see some uncut gameplay of this, but for now, thank you guys for watching. This has been Hyperspace Dogfights by Sleepers Games. Bye, everyone.